you dig it, sucker? Wendy.
Typical Orton.
I am the ghost of the Superstar Shakeup, and I have brought with me my special weapon, the Wild Card Rule. Seriously, I mean, is it really a wild card rule? Or is it just the elimination of the two brands? Welcome to the Raw Loaf. I am the Raw Loaf, here to talk about Monday Night Raw from May 6th? May 6th already? It's already May this year? 2019. I'm going to put down my shovel because the burial of the Superstar Shakeup has been complete. Because we started off Raw tonight, not with one, not with two, not with three, but with three, actually, wrestlers from SmackDown Live. Mr. McMahon came down, then Roman Reigns, then Daniel Bryan, then Kofi Kingston. Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston were going at it with a war of words, and they had a perfect moment in which they could have had Vince McMahon, the man himself, do his shut up! But they chose not to. I'm going to turn on this other light because this mask is getting warm. It's warming up here in Vegas. Woo! I think hold on. I do love these horns, though. I do love these horns because I feel like, well, I don't love them because of the Superstar Shakeup, but I feel like the Superstar Shakeup is done. And the Wrestling Devil has brought along his burial shovel and gotten rid of the Superstar Shakeup. But I'm not the devil. I am not the Wrestling Devil. I'm the... Where's Ric Flair when you need him? Anyway, so yeah. He missed his shut up chance. And then Drew McIntyre came out. And then all four of these guys are out there. They're all vying for everybody's attention. Drew McIntyre's like, what the F? This is my show. And my one question so far of the night, my number one question, there's the question running up there. Do you think the Superstar Shakeup is done? But my one main question that I have for everybody, do you think Roman Reigns is, what's his business? What did he forget to do? I don't know. He says he has unfinished business, but now he's just wrestling Drew McIntyre, who he left, or who he wrestled at WrestleMania and beat. Anyways, I'm wondering if any of you think that too. So, they announced a couple matches from these four that are going to happen about later tonight. We'll talk about them. And then AJ Styles comes out. And everybody's like, what does AJ Styles want now? And then it cuts the commercial break, and I'm like, what? I figured, since the ratings were so bad. All right, here we go. Since the ratings were so bad, they would just be American, and maybe start making good television. I'm not saying the rest of the world don't make good television, but America has become known for making pretty good television. They're not making good television. They're just making movies and putting them on TV. You don't know why, but when you eat mac and cheese, fall asleep. Maybe you got some allergy to gluten or something, huh? What's up, Stud Ice? How you doing? Anyways, so yeah, AJ's coming out and they cut to commercial break, and then it's like, I don't know. I mean, I get it. You want to leave on cliffhangers, but at the same time, I don't understand why you would just cut right in the middle of something. I don't know. That's my main complaint of Raw so far tonight. So I fell asleep before Raw, so the stream is really useful. Oh, sweet. I don't know. It may have been a good Raw for you. It may not have been a good Raw for you to watch because it was all over the place. So I wrote on here, this is the thing you missed. The wild card rule, lol. Wild card rule, lol. LOL, that's kind of what that means. Because So at first it was 3, and then just all these SmackDown people just started showing up. And now it's just like it was like years ago. Now, like, there is no Raw, there is no SmackDown. There's just like whoever. I don't know. I feel like they spend a month doing this superstar shakeup thing, and then now it's like pointless. And it sucks though, because we spent so much time talking about it, whether it was good or whether it was bad, and then they just completely did away with it. And I get it. I mean, everybody's saying their ratings are terrible, but I don't think it was the superstar shakeup's fault. But that's just me. But it didn't even... never mind. Okay, let's talk about Raw. So yeah, AJ comes out. Commercial break. They come back. AJ is talking to Vince. Then Seth Rollins comes out. And they want to fight each other. They obviously do. Seth Rollins is getting sick of AJ. And then Vince goes, "I'm brilliant." That's the one thing Vince has been saying. Or for this opening segment, Vince just kept saying, "I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant." It seems like he's just getting senile old. He's not in his wise old stage anymore. He's in his senile old stage. But, so, yeah, Vince fumbled his words. AJ Styles fumbled his words. I took a point off for AJ. Oh, the ratings, so SmackDown I think was below 2 million, and Raw was right at 2 million, and I said those are the worst numbers that they've ever had for a non-holiday event, ever. So it's getting pretty bad, and it's been steadily so hopefully the wrestlers will be better wrestlers, and they'll be better talking to each other, because that's what will make people come back to watch. But so it ended up being Seth Rollins and AJ taking on Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin, and it was kind of nice, because you would think all these guys hate each other, they're not going to work together, but thanks to the Rollo's point system, which I think AJ Styles actually looks at, he knew if we lose this match, we're not going to get our 10 points for winning this match. But it turns out that they worked together so well, actually. It was crazy how well they worked together. And then at the last moment, AJ missed the phenomenal forearm, hit AJ Styles and walked away, or hit Seth Rollins and walked away. And Baron Corbin pinned the champion. Woo! 2 million people watching. Yeah, 2 million. That's about the number for last week's Raw. That just includes on television. I don't know if that includes the internet streamers or something, or people who watch it other ways. But yeah, lowest numbers they say ever. So yeah, the Baron Corbin pinned the Universal Champion. Hopefully Baron Corbin wins his Money in the Bank, so maybe he might be able to do it again. But I highly doubt that. Next up, Sami Zayn came out. And then Renee Young and Corey Graves just started talking while Sami Zayn was talking. Renee was like, "Someone needs to shut this guy up." And I was like, "Oh my God, Renee, you go do it then. You go do it." But she didn't. But who did? Braun Strowman, kind of. Braun Strowman came out. He was smiling like a kid. And then he got in the ring and chased Sami. They went out into the crowd. They ran back in and they ran backstage. And then the Lucha House Party came out for their match, but then they went backstage. That's another thing I don't like. They just jump around too much. If they just focused on one thing and finished it and then moved on to the next, but they intercut all these things. I think that's not how I would do television. WWE, $69,000. Come hire me. I'll come tell you how to make your show better, at least in my mind. So yeah, and then Sami Zayn ran out. Finally, he got cornered by Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman picked him up, put him in a dumpster, and for some reason, Sami Zayn just stayed in the dumpster the whole time. And then a garbage truck came up and picked him up and then put him in the garbage. A garbage truck that was conveniently just parked about 50 feet away and just happened to turn on right when he got... It was weird. That whole segment was weird. What if behind the scenes they did the point system? Whoo! I don't know. I wanted to do the point system for a couple weeks to see, I didn't want to just start and have all these random points. I wanted to have a few, and I still am trying to figure out the system. I don't know when I'm going to put up, though, because there's pay-per-view on next Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. So we have Monday Night Raw and then Tuesday night SmackDown. Or Tuesday Night Raw, I guess they'll call it now. And I'm thinking maybe then I can do the point system video on Wednesday every week just to follow SmackDown and Raw. And then there could be one like after a pay-per-view or something. It's got to be before Raw, after a pay-per-view. So hopefully they'll tune into that too. Anyways, the Lucha House Party came out, had a wrestling match with 3 random guys who they totally decimated because they even name these guys. The guys were just in the ring and they got beat up luchally. How did you get beat up? I got beat up luchally. So, yeah, they won. They got an easy 10 points. But I didn't give them the full 10 points because these guys were nobodies. So I gave them like half points. I think that's what I'm going to do. If they have if there's wrestlers in there with somebody who's like not even known, like who were these 3 guys? They didn't even give them names. They didn't even name their names, I guess I should say. That was it. I was like, who are these guys? How many pay-per-views have I been to? Oh. I don't know. I've never kept count. When I was a flight attendant, like I said, I kind of flew all over. And I went to one every few months whenever I could get the time off. I've been to a lot of SmackDowns and Raws. As far as pay-per-views go, I'd say about probably 8 to 10. That's not all that much. But like I said, Raws and SmackDowns happen to be where I was at more often. Then Ricochet had a match with Robert Roode. And I was kind of like worried for a second. I was like, Ricochet's going to lose his spot? I feel like Ricochet is one of those guys that's made for a Money in the Bank ladder match. They had their match because Robert Roode went around backstage and said, hey, I beat Ricochet the week before. Why am I not in the Money in the Bank match? But eventually, Ricochet hit his 630 onto Robert Roode, pinned him 1, 2, 3, clean, easy 10 points for, well, it wasn't easy. He got beat up for quite a bit. And then they went backstage. Natalya, Naomi, and Dana Brooke got invites to see Lacey Evans do her match against another nobody. Oh, I wrote down it was the poor man's AJ Lee. But I forgot to say that Robert Roode, was like all business tonight. All business. He the glorious lights hit in the center of the ring. He didn't do his glorious thing. He went out there. And there was one big thing that Ricochet messed up on, and the announce team said that Ricochet wanted to win the Money in the Bank because he wanted some money, and people told him his whole life he's never gonna make money doing this pro wrestling thing, and by winning the Money in the Bank, he will finally have some money. And I was like, that is super weird. You've been wrestling for the WWE for free. I even tweeted to him. I was like, why are you working for free? He never responded to me. If he does, I will make a video with that special response, and that's it. Most underrated superstar is Tyler Breeze. I love that guy in NXT. And then he went to the main roster, and I thought he was great. Him and Fandango were great. But I guess Tyler Breeze is going to have a North American Championship match against Velveteen Dream. Of course, how did I forget his name? But yeah, I guess he's coming back. He's gonna rule the world pretty soon. I don't feel like he needs to wait for Fandango, but he might have to. But yeah, how about you? Who is your most underrated superstar? Because mine is Tyler Breeze. Then, so there was this really weird segment between Rey Mysterio and Dominic. They're backstage. Rey gives him some water and sends him off. And Dominic goes walking out. And then Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere, like all creepily. and like follows Dominic. Dominic has no idea that this giant Samoan guy is following him. And then they go to break and they come back, and then Samoa Joe is just talking to him after looking like he was gonna do some pretty bad things to Dominic. And there was a Heath Slater appearance. Heath Slater came up, said, "Oh, hey, what's up, Ray?" And Ray's like, "Oh, this is my son, Dominic. Oh, hey, what's up, man?" Heath says, "I gotta go." And it was like, what? You just made it on TV, man. That's all that most people in the world will never do. Just to say hi to your friend. Good job, Heath Slater. But he got a point. He's on the scoreboard now. Then the Usos are backstage, and then they're creeping up somewhere, but nobody knows where they're creeping to. Cesaro. Cesaro's definitely. Where that guy, when I started doing this point system, he appeared. He won a match. He had 17 points, and he hasn't been on TV these last 2 weeks. I was excited. I was like, Sheamus isn't around. I don't know if that's why he's not there anymore, but I was just like, oh, man. Horrible. Where are these guys? Stud Ice. What are we going to do to get these guys back on TV? So, yeah, Lacey Evans had her match against the poor man's AJ Lee. The three girls earlier, Natalya, Naomi, and Dana Brooke, who got invites to watch the show ringside in peach cobbler smelling invites. The only one that didn't get an invite was Alexa Bliss, but she showed up anyway. Good for her, I guess. She beat poor man's AJ Lee, got on the mic and said, "I just wanted you all to see what a legit lady looks like." And then Becky Lynch came out. They hit each other a couple times, and that was the end of all that. That's the same thing we've been seeing for like a month, you two. You need to light your fire, Becky Lynch, and you need to take off your gloves, Lazy Evans, because neither of you are doing that. Then the Viking Raiders came out, and they had a match against the Major Bros, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And the Viking Raiders won. They hit him with the Viking experience and put the champions down. But I will say, Zack Ryder was fighting. Kurt Hawkins was fighting. They brought the fight. But I guess when you get the Viking experience, you go down. That was bad. Start a riot on Twitter to get them on TV. How do we start a Twitter riot? I tweeted out like 40 times during Raw tonight, and I got like 6 interactions. I don't know if I'm the one that should be leading this riot. Maybe I could just make a whole bunch of super quick videos or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure something out. It's a good idea. Then Seth is backstage, and he is not happy with AJ Styles. And then in this moment, I realized, where have the backstage interviewers been? There have been no backstage interviewers. But one came up in a bit, and I'll talk about that. So we had Reigns versus McIntyre. And again, I'm wondering, what is this unfinished business that Reigns has here at Raw? Because now he's just having a rematch that he had at WrestleMania. But in this match, Shane interferes, causes a win for Roman Reigns by attacking Roman Reigns when he was about to probably pin Drew McIntyre. McIntyre beat him up most of the match, but you can't beat Superman. And Roman Reigns is the new Superman now that John Cena has grown his hair out. And then Elias comes in and he starts beating up Roman Reigns. Then Vince, later on in the show, Vince is backstage trying to explain to somebody, it's 4. Elias doesn't count it's only 3 because Elias doesn't count because he was with Shane. And Lars Sullivan then barged in, didn't say a word, and just stared at him. And then McMahon's like, "Oh, it's 4 now." I was like, "What?" Like just wild card rule. That's what it is. So Roman Reigns got the win. He didn't get full points because he was disqualified. It's like anybody can just come in and punch somebody. You don't get full points for that. So afterwards, Shane and then The Miz came out and chased Shane out. Not Zane. Chased Shane out, blah. And then the cameras are like following Shane backstage. the camera stops. Shane like tucks in behind a like a wall in a vehicle, and the camera's sitting there just filming. And then Miz comes running through, and the Miz didn't even think once, oh, maybe I should look where this camera's facing. But he just took off. Then Shane said, whoo, and he ran down. But maybe Miz was smart because he ended up running down to Shane's limo and hit Shane in the back with the chair. Hit him a couple times with the chair. It didn't really faze Shane that much. That was kind of weird. Shane fought him off, jumped into the limo, and took off. They had a limo fight from out of nowhere. Next, we come back from a commercial break, and the Revival and the Good Brothers are in the ring. The Usos are legitimately, I believe, the Wayans brothers of the WWE now, because they have been just goofsters since they moved to Raw. And they have this new product called Usi Hot. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers have got to be thinking, this is what we were doing when we first came to Raw. And now the Usos are doing it. And then the Good Brothers, I guess, just got to be on TV and just stand there. That's cool if they like that. It's easy pay for them, I guess. But the Revival had the Usi Hot on in under their pants, apparently, their underwear. And when you sweat, it activates and it gets really like icy hot, I guess, like super icy hot. And that was it for the Revival. They looked like literally the Three Stooges bouncing around all over the place. They went up to the Usos. The Usos said, you want some water? Here's some water. They put it in their pants, and that was it. They went even worse because the Usos were like, you're not supposed to put your water on it. You're supposed to drink your water. And that was it. That was it. Can you believe that? The Revival bouncing around on the ground like little animals because their crotches are itching so bad. And that was good job, I guess. I don't know what to say. Woo, but you do. There are many 3-inch Mattel figures, and I'm trying to collect them all. Where? Would you buy them? Ooh, man, I wish McDonald's had Happy Meals with wrestling figures in them. Or is that just an excuse for me to eat McDonald's? I don't need the McDonald's. Oh, we didn't see the Iconics. They didn't appear on TV. Yeah, we didn't see them. Although I still want to be their manager. So No Way Jose comes out, and he's dancing around the ring with his conga line. And Lars Sullivan just comes out, and oh boy, howdy, let me tell you. He took one of those conga line members, picked him up, and just like spun and threw him, and he hit his back up. Ooh, there goes my cape. He spun and hit his back on that turnbuckle post. Woo, man, that looked like it hurt bad. But I hope they all survived. And then No Way Jose tried to fight him off. Of course he didn't. Nobody has been able to fight off Lars Sullivan. Then Naomi is inducted to some Boys and Girls Hall of Fame. Good for her. I guess that's a point for her. Then Vince is backstage with Lars, like I told you earlier. Then we have the WWE Championship match. The championship match at the Dollar Tree? Oh, sorry, I got loud there. I got excited. I can get mini WWE action figures at the Dollar Tree? I might have to go after this. No. So it's Daniel Bryan taking on Kofi Kingston for the belt. A few minutes into this match, Michael Cole, the wonderful war broadcaster that he is, asks the question, Daniel Bryan has not been here in a month. Is he well rested? And he was not, because he lost this match. Kofi Kingston made his first successful title defense on Monday Night Raw. So good for him. They said we haven't had a Raw match in like 3 years. And there was one point where here's Kofi with the Intercontinental Championship. But Kofi is he gets thrown out of the ring. He comes, he didn't, not like that. He comes and he hits the ground, and then his head went, just snapped right back. I was like, oh boy. It looked like R-Truth when The Miz didn't catch the R-Truth that one time. Like he was supposed to, I guess he was supposed to like make sure he caught his friend so his friend didn't die. There's some Finn Balor, AJ Styles, John Cena, The Rock, and Roman Reigns. Are they not? Don't tell me they're $1. I don't know if the Dollar Tree is one of those dollar stores that not everything's $1 at. But so in the end, Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise. Daniel Bryan fell right by the ropes, and I was like, oh, he can just grab the rope, get it kicked out, or break the pin. But Bryan was too knocked out. And that was the end of Monday Night Raw. It didn't really feel like Monday Night Raw. It felt like Monday Night SmackDown Live.